Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone is doing good. We're going to cover today budgeting. Most of you guys know, but not everybody does that, right?
Right,
Most of you heard about doing it. You should do it
right.
from a financial advisor or from somebody else, but nobody does it. Very few people. I think only like 10% of them, 10 to 20% does it. So that's why we wanted to cover today. Why do you need budgeting? So think about like there is a money coming in and there's a money going out, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end, like you don't have any money, and
Right.
you're probably borrowing more money, and you're using
Yeah.
credit card. You're maxing out your credit card, and no wonder why why you are maxing out credit card,
Yeah.
because all those black box stuff underneath, it's not being analyzed, right? That's a budgeting. That's why you need to do budgeting. Then you know exactly, oh, this we are spending 20% on our income on this, that we should cut it out. Like, you can, as a family, you should sit down and just then do that budgeting. As a matter of fact, I do it like almost once a month. So I wrote it down something here. I don't want to show everything, but I'm gonna just take a peek at it and just go through with you guys. So think about all the expenses, right? Just write down your income on the probably on the left side, and all the income, right? If you have three jobs, just put down all the net income. How much your bank, like, for that I just go to my bank, right? I have a couple of banks that I get income. I just go open it. I see exactly how much, right? Every other week, every week, every month, every quarter, all those things. Just note it down, all your income, so you know exactly how much is coming in, right?
Yeah.
And then all your expenses, you just have to know every expenses. For that, if you are using a credit card, it makes it so easy. Just go and
Correct.
recurring expenses. There are recurring expenses. There are just one-time expense, those kind of things, right? Just take a print of your statements, from credit cards, and then your bank statement. Maybe you are using some utilities bill and other things. Just print out. That way you know exactly how much water bill, how much electricity bill, how much is your mortgage, right? How much you are paying exactly your mortgage, including the principal, interest, insurance, and tax, everything, right? And then your transportation, how much you're paying your car registration, how much is your gas every month, approximately. Like, if you are $40 to $50 approximately every month, just put $50, right? That's your kind of expensive. And write down everything. The main thing is the mortgage, transportation, and if you have a house, you're probably doing a lawn maintenance. Write down that, and then the food expenses, grocery within the food. What is the grocery expenses you're buying? That's a raw food you're buying, from fruits and vegetables and other things. And also you're going out and eating, the restaurants and other things. How much is that expenses? And then utilities. In terms of utilities, it's basically like a gas, electricity, water, internet, phone. And if you have a house, security thing, home security thing, how much you're paying for that. Just write down all the amount per month. If you are paying per year, once a year, like insurance and all, just split that up by 12 and you get the per month rate, right? So as a matter of fact, like, I wrote all these things, I realized that there is something that I can save $1,000
Yeah.
every month.
Right,
So
right, right.
after you write it down, you actually think, your mind will think, visualize it. You will know you can save some place. I circled
After you write down them only, you realize, oh my God, am I really paying that?
right,
Am I really
exactly.
paying this much? And all those
Yeah.
prices. Yeah.
And that's the utilities, right? And then your membership, like you were saying that you
Oh boy.
probably have lots of
Subscription.
membership.
Yeah.
These days, the people make money through online memberships, like gym membership, your Costco membership, Amazon membership, Netflix
Netflix,
membership.
Hulu.
TubeBuddy, Hulu, and if you are a realtor, you might have some expenses on that. If you are a medium reader or writer, you might have medium expenses, and then you know all the others, so many other expenses. You have monthly expenses that's recurring, right? um, and uh, and then you have a car loan. You might have a car loan. You're paying, so you shouldn't be paying more than $400 car loan. If you are paying more than that, that means you are driving luxury vehicle or like unnecessarily. And so I think somebody, JC or somebody was saying that if you cannot buy the same item twice, you cannot afford it.
Yeah.
So if you are buying a $50,000 car, can you buy two of those?
Oh,
And if you cannot buy two of those, then you cannot afford that.
wow. That's a
So
pretty good analysis. Okay.
yeah, and yeah, those are some of the things. And then groceries, electronics. If you are buying a lot of electronics, if you are flying out, traveling once a year, it costs around $3,000. Just split that up to put it in the monthly expenses. So you have budget. You have budget for everything, and start saving that money. Like if you're traveling at the end of the year, $3,000 cost. You need to put that money aside, so you know exactly that money is there for you, right?
Right, right, right. Yeah. You got additional points there, Venkat, or
Oh no, I think yeah, that's like if you put down all those things, write it down. That's like your expenses, and then you know exactly how much, why your credit card expenses is main thing.
Mhm.
Why your if it should be less than your income. Uh,
Right. And what I so that's a great analysis, and I have pretty much similar thing, but a little, here and there, there are some differences. So what I want to add to what you said is, I want to share like a couple of things that I'm doing and really worked. Um, what I do is, actually, I've been doing this for a long time until I bought this house. So I'm still doing it even after buying the house, but I brought down my savings limit. So what I was going to say was, you, like you said, you put the income, you put all the expenses, like the recurring and also the miscellaneous ones, right? But before that, what I do is I set a target. Okay, this month I'm saving $1,000. I put
mm.
that $1,000 as an expense. I put that
Oh,
save.
so even before any expenses, you put the
I
savings
put
first.
I put 1,000 because I know, okay, no matter what, I'm going to save $1,000 each month, and it worked. The reason
Wow.
I said that I did that until I bought this house is because after the house, then I started incurring more expenses, right? So I have to brought down the 1,000, but I'm still doing it. So that's what I said. Like, everything was right, and I want to add this point because, that way you already save that. You already set the
Right.
target, and you're already saving that money. You're setting that money aside, and everything else you put again. And sometimes you might see that your expenses are more than the income because you already put 1,000 or whatever, right? What you have to do in this case is, Venkat, I think, I cannot emphasize this factor enough. What you have to do is not to reduce, not to reduce your savings 1,000. I
Right.
should have done. I should be doing that too. But when you buy a house, it's a whole different game. But if you can manage this, don't if you feel like your expenses are more than the income after putting 1,000 or 500 on the savings, you should not be deducting from the savings. Try to limit the expenses, like the miscellaneous, right? You go eat, you go outside, every Friday, every Saturday, or sometimes you drink coffee like 3 times a day, right on
Right.
your way home. If you're
The
feeling hungry,
coffee
you
takes a lot of money, right?
coffee eats money. Coffee literally eats money, right? And if you put in your expenses, you advise that, you have to put every little piece of it. That's
Mm.
exactly how you should do. And then you will realize, per day, like coffee expenses per day would be like, if you drink 3 times, it's going to be
Right.
more than $10 for sure,
$10, yeah.
right? And if you go to work for 22 days, imagine, right? And you should be cutting that money, not your savings. And
$3,000 something. 3 months mortgage. 2 months.
right, yes. And I think that would be the key. You save that, you set aside your savings part, and then figure out how am I going to cut down my expenses, unnecessary expenses, junk food, McDonald's, and coffee. Coffee, I also put it as junk. Right? You can live without coffee. Come on, right?
Right.
And also, if you really want to drink coffee, stop going to Starbucks or all these, coffee
Just get a
places.
Nescafe.
Yes,
It just
right? Yeah.
$3-4
And
Nescafe
I
coffee.
have Nescafe, this jar, and I've been using it for like 3 or 4 months now. And yes, I'm not a heavy coffee drinker, but I'm a tea drinker, and I have tea bags.
Bags.
Right? Try to find those little hacks so you can still save the same money and enjoy life. And the other one I want to squeeze in real quick is this is something happened to me. Like I'm doing budgeting since 2014. I'm doing it,
Mm.
and I'm monitoring it. I'm looking at it every day. Literally every day I'm looking at it. It has become a habit now. The reason is so I also get income from two accounts because I split my payroll,
Right.
right? And so because I was not tracking it before, I realized that all of a sudden my account goes overdraft. The reason is I don't track it. So so I let's say I on my way back, let's say I for some reason I just pumped gas, right? I gassed the car,
Right.
and then it cost me $30. And so let's say I had only $50 on the check-in, and I $30 gas, and then all of a sudden at the month end, there were two additional subscription payments: Netflix Prime,
Right.
Netflix and Amazon Prime, and it goes overdraft. The reason is I was not tracking, and if I had been tracking, I know exactly from which paycheck that is going to take off Amazon and Netflix, right? And then I know that okay, I should not be using this card for this gas payment. You know what I mean? I mean, it sounds
So,
maybe it
so
sounds
basically maintaining and making sure which card being used and just
e-
keep
exact.
on it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And I have like two columns, one for let's say ABC Bank and one for XYZ Bank, and I actually put January 1st to 15th, month 1st to 15th, and then 16th to 31st, and I put those two columns so I know exactly which part of the month that's going to take off my Netflix subscription. Which
Right.
so if it's going to take off from the 24th of each month, I know that subscription payment is going to be taken out from my paycheck that I get from on the 15th. So it's things like that, little things goes a long way, and I've been avoiding a lot of overdraft fees because of that. Because of why? Because how? Because I've been tracking my budget. So just because you have a budget doesn't mean that you're saving or you're managing, right? You have to track it.
Oh, you
I
have to
think
keep
that's
on it,
the
right? The
keep
budget
on
is
track.
not just one time thing. You have to
But
every month, every
yeah,
week, you have to keep on it.
yeah,
Right. Yeah. I hope you guys got some value out of this video. We cover a lot of different points. We are going to have so many additional tips and tricks on this money management,
yeah.
wealth front aspects, right? So just come back and visit us. We'll have more things for you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
All right.